Hello students, in today's class we are going to talk about the next elements of the product policy. So the third one is product line. What is product line? Product line is a group of products that are closely related with each other because these groups satisfy the similar needs of different market segments. For example, cosmetics range for girls, women and men. So all these products will come under the one product line. Why? Because they satisfy the similar needs of different market segments. Similar way, different needs of one market segment, for example, soaps and moisturizer for body care, shampoos and hair oil for hair care, then women body care products, hair care products, etc. are called as what? Product lines. So product line is a group of products which are closely related with each other, and the reason is they satisfy the similar needs of different market segments as well as different needs of one market segment. The next one is product mix. The next element of the product policy is product mix. Product mix is the entire range of products of a company which company offer for sale to their customer. A product system is a group of diverse but related items that function in a compatible manner is called as what? Product mix. For example, if we take the example of smartphone. So smartphone product lines come with the attachable products including headsets, cameras, keyboards, presentation projectors, e-books, MP3 players and voice recorders. So this will be included in the product line of smartphones. So a product mix is the set of all products and items a particular seller offers for a sale is called as product mix. And product mix is also called as product assortment. And product mix has four important characteristics, and these characteristics here we are going to understand with the example of Hindustan Unilever Limited's product mix. So these characteristics are, first one is product width. Now what is product width? Product width is the number of product lines in the company. Okay, so product width is called as number of product lines in a company is called as product width. Now for example, see here. So this is the product width, product mix width of the Hindustan Unilever. So there are total 12 lines of product mix width. First one is personal wash, laundry, then third one is skin care, hair care, oral care, deodorants, Ayurvedic personal and health care, then color cosmetics, tea, coffee, food, ice cream. So in total there are 12 product lines, and the total product lines in the product mix is called as product width. Okay, so this is the first characteristics of the product mix. The second one is length of the product. Now what is length of the product means? Number of product items in each product line is called as length of the product. Okay, so in total there are how many lines? Total 12 product lines, and in 12 products line there are total 28 products. Okay, and average length of a line is less than 3, which means that in each line there will be less than 3 products are there in each line. So the total length of the product of HUL is how much? 28. So here you can count the number of products. Okay, in personal care we have Lux, then Lifebuoy, Liril. I hope you are clear with the image. Then Hamam, Breeze, Dove, Pierce and Rexona. Okay, in laundry we have Surf Excel, Rin, Will. In skin care we have Fair and Lovely, then Pond's, Vaseline. In hair care we have Sunsilk, Naturals, Clinique Plus. So if you count this total, there are 28 products, and the 28 products is nothing but the product length of HUL, and the average length of HUL is how much? Less than 3. The next one is product depth. Product depth means, that is the depth of the product means, refers to how many variants are offered of each product in the line. Okay, so here I have told about the each product in the line. So if we take the example of Lux, in personal wash we have one product called as Lux. Suppose if Lux comes in 4 variants, we have seen the variants in Lux soap. Okay, so here I have given the example, see. So if Lux comes in the 4 variants, so that will be exotic flower petals and jojoba oil, almond oil and milk cream, fruit extracts and honey in the milk cream, and sandal saffron in milk cream. So these are the variants of Lux. In similar way, there are variants in each and every product of the HUL, and that is called as depth of the product mix. Okay, and the last character of the product mix is consistency. The consistency of the product mix refers to how closely related the various products lines are in the form of end use, then production requirements, distribution channels, or some other way, which means that how these products are closely related with each other. It may be in the form of end use of the product, maybe the production requirements, maybe the distribution channels for all the products may be same, or maybe some other factors which will be applicable in a similar form for all the products. Now here HUL product lines, we have taken here HUL product mix. So the consistency of the HUL product mix is, HUL's product lines are consistent in so far as they are consumer goods and that go through the same distribution channels. The lines are less consistent in so far as they perform different functions for the buyers. Okay, so the consistency of the product mix refers to what? How closely the product related to each other is called as consistency of the product. So these are the 4 important characteristics of product mix. So what is product mix? Product mix is the entire range of products of a company which company offers for sale to the customer is called as product mix, and product mix is also called as what? Product assortment. Okay. After that, the next element of the product policy is product standardization. Okay. Now what is product standardization? Product standardization refers to the process of maintaining uniformity and consistency among the different iterations, that is repetition of a particular good or service that are available in different market is called as what? Product standardization. Okay, and it is a process of marketing a good or service without making any changes to it. If a product is changed at all, it is only changed superficially. Otherwise, the characteristics of the good or service remain uniform, and it is made using the same materials and process and has the same packaging and marketed under the same name is called as product standardization. Okay, so maintaining uniformity and consistency among the different iteration, that is repetition of a particular good or services that are available in the market is called as what? Product standardization. The 6th element of the product policy is branding, which is also called as product identification. So first let us understand what is brand. A brand is a name, maybe a term or a particular sign or symbol of a company, design, or a combination of above which can help to identify the goods or services of a seller and which differentiate it from the rest of the competitors is called as what? Brand. Brand is the sum of all characteristics it includes tangible as well as intangibles, that make the offer and intangible attributes and tangible attributes. Intangible attributes includes product packaging, labeling, attributes, functional benefits, etc. will come in tangible attributes. Whereas intangible attributes are quality, emotional benefits, values, culture image, etc. So, brand is the sum of all characteristics, tangible and intangible, that make the offer, and tangible attributes and intangible attributes is called as what? Brand. Okay. So these are the various types of brands. So first one is individual brand name. Each product has a special and unique brand name. For example, Vim, Pond's manufacturer, has a promote individually in the market. So these two products have their different brand name in the market, and their manufacturer have produced or promoted individually in the market. The next one is family brand name. Now what is family brand name? Family name is limited to one line of products that are similar in terms of end use. For example, Kisan Jam, Kisan tomato ketchup. It helps in creation of strong self-display, but one member of the family brand is rejected by the customers and it will affect the entire brand. Okay, suppose if the Kisan jam is good but Kisan tomato ketchup is not that quality one, in that case consumers will have the mindset that the products from Kisan will not be at a good quality, as they have used the Kisan tomato ketchup which was not good. So it will affect the entire product of that product line if the one product of the family brand is not in good in terms of the quality. The third one is umbrella brand. So in umbrella brand, all products have the name of the company or the manufacturer. For example, Tata, Dabur. It helps to minimize the cost of the promotion. So under the Tata brand, we have so many companies, they have so many companies, so that will help them to reach in the market easily. Next one, combination device. Each product has an individual name but also has the umbrella brand to indicate the business house producing the product. For example, Dabur Vatika shampoo. The next one, private or middleman brand. Manufacturer merely produces goods as per the specifications and requirement of a distributors, and the middleman, wholesale or retailers gives his brand name. For example, superstores like MR Retail, MK Retail, that is MK Retail Essentials, Total Mall, Food World, etc. Okay, so these are the total, there are total 5 types of brand. First one is individual brand, then family brand, third one is umbrella brand, fourth one is combination device, and the fifth one is private or middleman brand. Okay, and the next one is product positioning. The next element of the product policy is product positioning. Product positioning is the last step in the STP, that is segmentation, targeting and positioning. Now what is product positioning? Product positioning refers to the place that a brand occupies in the minds of the consumers and how it distinguished from the products of the competitors and different from the concept of brand awareness is called as what? Product positioning. In order to position products or brands, companies may emphasize and distinguishing features of their brand, that is what it is, what it does and how, etc. So they tell about the product by which customer can differentiate the product from the competitors. That is how they may try to create a suitable image is called as what? Product positioning. The next one is product packaging, product packing, packaging and labeling. So first we'll understand what is packing. Packing is merely a physical action and it provides a handling convenience, maintain freshness and quality, prevent from the danger of adulteration is called as packing. Next one, packaging. Packaging may be defined as the group of activities in the planning of a product. These activities are formulating a design of the package, producing an appropriate and attractive container or wrapper for the product is called as packaging. And the last one is labeling. Labeling is a simple tag attached to the product or an elaborately designed graphic that is part of the package is called as labeling of the product. Okay, so this is the these are the role of a packing and packaging. You can read out it, you will understand. So these are the elements of the product policy. Okay, so there are total, how many elements are there? Total 8 elements are there in the product policy. First one is product planning and development. Second one is product life cycle. Third one is product line. Fourth one is product mix. Fifth one is product standardization. Sixth one is product identification, that is branding of the product. Seventh one is product positioning. And the last one is product packing. Okay, I hope you understood what is product policy and what are the elements are there in the product policy. In the next class we are going to talk about pricing. Okay.